Hello everybody, I'm Debbie Giordano of Master Brokers. Welcome to my weekly update. We're actually in the end of July, getting ready to start August. It's been an amazing 6-7 months of this year in terms of the real estate market. As you know, as predicted, when Trump announced the tariffs back about 3 or 4 months ago, it really caused shockwaves in the stock market industry. And in fact, one day there was a 1,200 point stock drop. That really affected what's going on here with the buyers. So for about 3 months or so, we had a real lull in the marketplace, but I think that's picking up. It's actually getting much better. I want to share with you, I sold 3449 Suncrest Avenue in San Jose, sold that last night. A little bit below the list price, but it was an as-is sale, so the seller was excited. Buyer's good to go. That one had 3 price drops to get to where we needed to be to go into contract. Also, I have 1290 Milkweed Street in Milpitas. That's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1862 square foot townhome, beautiful. And I'll talk about that open house. That'll be coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 4. And the price point on that is $1,350,000. So I have that one available. Let me talk about interest rates and the general market in Milpitas, and then I'll close with some future open house dates that you can mark your calendar for. So interest rates are actually up just a little bit, not by much, certainly not noteworthy. A 30-year fixed conforming is at 7.075%. 15-year fixed conforming is 6.125. 30-year fixed jumbo is at 6.675. And 15-year fixed jumbo is at 6.25. Now, the Federal Reserve Board is meeting this Wednesday, so we should have some good news. Inflation numbers were low. We're thinking that the Feds may drop at least 0.25% off their interest rate. Be nice if maybe they can go down 0.5%. We'll see what they do. And that may or may not affect the interest rate market, but I think it's going to improve, and certainly toward the end of this year. So let's talk about what's going on in the general Milpitas market. You know, it has been sluggish. Tomorrow I'm actually closing 1351 Admire Court in Milpitas. That was listed at $1,550,000. We're closing it at 1.5, and so that shows a little bit drop in the price point. And then 1625 Serpa Drive in Milpitas will be closing next week. Price point was $1,998,888. It's closing at $1,960,000, and it did appraise for that. It didn't appraise for over that. The seller thought, well, maybe I'm going to get more in the appraisal, and that didn't happen. So appraisers are conservative. Buyers are very cautious now, but they are out there, and there's plenty of them. So that Serpa Drive will close. But looking at the general Milpitas market, I like to look at, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? And the way I gauge that is by looking at what is the current inventory in terms of listings. And today we have 31 active listings in Milpitas. But listen to this, we have 24 pending sales. When I have at least half of pending sales that are to the listing ratio, then that's a good sell. It's a good steady state market. But 24 pending sales really mean that it's a very strong seller's market. So inventory is still on the slim side, which is good for sellers, and then the pending sales are great. So let's talk about what I got coming up, and I'd like you to mark your calendars. So I'll be out at 23 Prada Drive in Milpitas. Price point is $1,998,888. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's in the Ridgeview Estates. That one will be open Saturday, Sunday, September 6th and September 7th. I know I booked my open houses quite a ways out, but I want to give everybody an opportunity to mark their calendars and come. And then we're finally getting 522 South 22nd Street in San Jose. Getting that ready, prepped on the market. I pick up the key next week. That will be open August 30th and August 31st from 2 to 4. Price point on that is $1,098,888. So mark your calendar for those two. And then we've got a couple coming up soon, 390 Monmouth Drive. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 1735 square feet for 1.7, and 479 Heath Street in Milpitas. I just talked to the seller on Saturday. They're shopping in Vacaville for a new home, so as soon as that happens, we'll be getting that prepped and ready. And that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in the Manor area, price to be determined. So if you're interested in getting your home ready, we've got lower inventory, plenty of buyers, mixed for a good seller's market. Give me a call at 408-945-8988 or shoot me an email, giordanodj@aol.com. We'll set a time and date to meet. I'll assess your property, tell you what I think is the best plan of action for you to get the top dollar for your home. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.